So I guess let's address the elephant in the room. Look who's back and finally remembered how to use their camera. It's me, Angel, again. Um, I guess we should talk about the fact that I have been gone for 6 months. I mean, I've still been around. I just haven't been in like these YouTube streets. I wasn't in a place where I felt like filming, like recording and uploading. I for the past like 6 months, I haven't really been sewing as much as I had been. And I don't know, I was just focused on like so many other things. And when I started to come back to actually, when I started to come back to actually film, it just didn't feel right. And like I would play my videos back, and then I was just like, I didn't really feel like I was authentic. And just very recently, like at the beginning of this month, I kind of decided like, hey, you know what? I'm going to go on like a little self journey, and a part of that self journey has been like shifting the focus, like my focus back to me. And as part of that process of shifting the focus back to me and my wants and my needs and things like that, I kind of started listening to my intuition a little bit more, and I've been feeling inspired and creative again. And look where we are now, here, updating. So, my number one thing with this is that I don't want to update or upload just for the sake of uploading. This is like with my sewing as well. I don't want to sew something just for the sake of sewing. So when I do take the time to actually make a video or make something or post something on like my social media or what have you, I want it to be because that's genuinely something that I want to do, and because I genuinely feel like I have something to say and I want to share it with whoever is willing to listen. So like, I don't want to do things just for the sake of doing them. I want to be very intentional. I want to be very intentional about my energy and what I'm doing. So that's why the past however long I haven't updated, I just I if I had updated, it probably wouldn't have felt right. You know, like I could tell in my videos like it's just not me. I'm just doing it because I feel like I have to. But that's neither here or there. I mean, well, it was, but we're past that part now. Um, and what we're going to talk about for today's video is actually my Sapporo Coat, which is no longer that name. It is the Papercut Patterns Nova Coat. So I have my little notes here. So back in February, well, actually, even before February, let's go back to like last year around November. So I bought the pattern in November or October or somewhere around there. And I bought my fabric for the pattern, but I just didn't sew it because it wasn't cold. I was like, I want to sew a coat, but it's not cold yet, whatever. Number one, if you have something that you want to sew for like a season, try and do it in advance. I waited until about January to like really feel like I was ready to tackle this project. And so I started the coat in January and I finished it around February-ish and absolutely loved my coat. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to review this pattern, my thoughts on it, and, you know, things I would do differently as a beginner, the usual that we always do in my pattern review videos. So the Nova Coat is described as an oversized cocoon coat with angled seaming, and the coat is fully lined except for the hidden pockets. I chose this coat particularly because there were no like buttons or zippers on it, so I felt like that might be like an easy dive into outerwear. And the pattern, it comes in two different, well, there's like four different options that you can choose from. So you can have a long sleeve coat or you can have a short sleeve coat. You can also have like a full like long length coat, or you can have a short cropped coat, which comes to like about your waist. I did the long sleeves and I did it like the full length, which comes around like mid thigh for me. And I did that because it was going to be my winter jacket, or rather my winter coat, and I needed something long. So the fabric that I used like a cashmere wool blend that I bought from Fabric Mart Fabrics. And my lining, I use something a little bit silkier. I wish I could remember it. I'll put it in the description box, but I bought that from Joann's. So once again, I chose this jacket because I felt like it might be something easy for me to do, and like the reviews didn't make it seem too hard. They uploaded it, like they updated the pattern so that like the seaming on the front pockets actually fit, like lined up perfectly, because I know that in a prior pattern, I think it was like a little bit off, is what I read from different reviews on the internet. The jacket is a very oversized coat. I feel like for me, I think I sewed like a straight size 5, and I kind of felt like I was swimming in my sleeves just a little bit. So I'm actually going to make another one of these jackets, but I'm going to like use like a lighter weight linen for like fall type of deal. And I'm also going to like the cute little collar block, because that's what made me fall in love with the pattern in the first place. So I do think that you can size down. For my next jacket, I do plan on sizing down, because I do feel like the size that I chose was just like, based on my measurements, was just way too big. I would say that if you can do a like a practice run with that to kind of like figure out your sizing before you cut into your good fabric. I didn't. And I know that with oversized stuff, I need to size down, but I still didn't do it. I was just doing whatever I wanted to do as usual. But I still love my coat, and I was able to fit like my sweater, like a bulky sweater, like a chunky sweater under it comfortably without any issues. It's just that if I'm not wearing anything chunky, it looks a little big. But if you like things that look big, it can be cute how you style it. I'm not like the most stylish person in the world, so I need a jacket that kind of like fits a little bit better. So I'm going to size down for my next one. What was the most difficult part of the pattern for me? So the most difficult part of sewing this pattern was actually probably going to be one thing that was on their end, and then one thing that was my fault. So the one thing that was on their end was the lining. They had good instructions for the lining. It's just that's part of like the bagging part, and like the flipping it inside out was a little hard for me. Like I couldn't wrap my head around it. But luckily they do have, Papercut Patterns does have a like an online step-by-step guide with photos, and because of how popular this pattern is, you can actually find so many resources, like so many videos, so many blog posts about it. And that's one of the things I keep saying over and over again, is that when you're starting to do like pick your patterns and you don't really know where to start, and if you even if you want to be adventurous, if you choose something that people have done before and like is popular, you'll always have, there will be no shortage of like help and information on the internet to get you through it. So I had a little bit of issues with the lining, and like getting it to line up perfectly with my jacket. And I think part of that is my fault because of the fabric that I chose. I don't think I was really prepared to work with that wool cashmere blend. And I don't think I was really prepared to work with that with like a silkier fabric. So it was a little bit difficult for me to kind of get it right, like when I was putting the two pieces together. But honestly, I feel like if I worked with something a little bit sturdier, I probably wouldn't have had so many issues. My other issue was when I had to close up my lining on the inside of the jacket. You have to kind of like hand sew it on that last little part, and your girl really didn't want to do that. So my little insert is kind of janky, like where it meets, like where I bagged it and then had to sew that last part, but you can't see it, so it is what it is. I wore my jacket all day, every day, until it got too hot for me to wear it. Like I wish I could still wear it right now, and I can't. Which brings me to my next part. What did I like about this pattern? It was easy. There's no buttons. There's literally no buttons, no hooks, no closures. I think you can probably put one if you wanted to in the front. I would consider that, because a jacket doesn't like close. If it's big enough, it kind of like gets close to each other in the front, but it doesn't like actually close. So I think maybe like a little type of like a little clasp closure of some sort might be cute to kind of like hold it together. But I love the design of the pattern, and it's very easy. It really is. And easy enough that I was like, all right, bet I'm gonna make another one, but for like cooler weather, like for not cooler weather, but like warmer weather, which is why I wanted to use linen. So I actually bought a linen rayon blend for my outer part, and then for my inside, I'm going to be using like a cotton voile because I feel like that would be like really nice and breezy. I already cut it. I'm doing the color blocking. It's going to be like a lavender and a navy because I think that's going to be really cute. And then the inside pattern is like a floral. Oh, I can't wait to show you guys. But I just haven't actually sat down to sew it. And that's what we talked about in the beginning. Like I've have all these projects and things that I want to do. I just haven't sat down and done it. I haven't been in like a good mood to do it. So I love the pattern obviously because I'm going to do it again. I already cut my fabric. I'm ready. Would I recommend this pattern for a beginner? I think a beginner can do it. I just do recommend maybe doing a trial version so that you can iron out the kinks of what needs to be done, and also so that you can check on the sizing just to make sure that the sizing is good for you. Like I said, it is oversized. I'm actually going to size down maybe like 1 or 2 sizes because I've really felt like in my arms and everything, like it was just so big. It was cozy, but I don't need to, like, I didn't need all that space, you know? So, you know, you just got to figure out what works for you. And I think it's a great pattern. And as usual, if you want to see different types of the different ways that the jacket can come together, of course, you can check Instagram, which is where I go when I'm looking for inspiration on like what I want to do. So I was like, oh, because I was on the fence about this pattern because I normally don't buy like cocoon type things. I normally don't buy oversized style things. And so having that, knowing that, I saw like a version where it was like a two-toned type of look, and I was like, this is it. This is it. My first one wasn't two-toned or like color block, whatever you want to call it, but I just knew in my heart that I'm gonna have to do a version like this because it was just so gorgeous. Oh yeah, also I love the pockets. Like the pockets, they look great from the front, and like they're nice and deep. I can fit a lot of stuff in there. So great pattern, highly recommend it. I hope it doesn't feel like I rushed through this, but because I didn't. It's just that I really like this pattern, and I hope you do too if you do it. And I've been enjoying. So that's that for this. I've been enjoying reading all of your comments and like tips and suggestions for me. That's been helpful. I've been trying to respond. I know sometimes it takes me a couple of days or like a week or two, but I see them. I appreciate it. If you like this video, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up. If you find me interesting or whatever, subscribe, come hang out again, follow me on social media, all that other good stuff. But we're back. And so I will see you guys in the next video.